Hey everyone, so my plan was to post at least one video per week on either a good Paladin farm or a crazy pull like the Naked Zulguru. And since this week I've been working on my next wild idea. In the meantime, I've decided I'd post dire maul jump runs in 13 minutes as a Paladin, something that I haven't really seen any guides on YouTube yet. Well, at least not this quick and without any spec whatsoever, which I'll explain during the video. By the way, quick side note and shameless plug, since I've got nothing else to do, I'm starting to stream on Twitch as well, as I've been having a lot of questions and requests for help on Discord, and this way I can just talk to you while showing you things live, and you can also see all my deaths, my misery, my screams, and all those things that don't make it to the video. This does not mean at all that I'll be posting less on YouTube, as I'll still dedicate as much time to creating new videos as I have until now, and I'll still read and answer every single comment you guys do. Now, onto the guide. The first thing I want to say is that a lot of players who do these jump runs try to dodge the trees through the middle, but you don't really need to play that game. There's a path that is literally straightforward and you don't lose any time. You jump down where I'm jumping and you just cross that pathway, and if the Trents on the right side are patrolling, you hug the tree like I do and you just wait for them to walk back, and there they go. So after that, you're just gonna run straight through that pillar, the broken pillar, through the left of it, and you're gonna hug the wall and run all the way down to the corridor. There's another patrolling pack that even if you're close to the wall, you still might pull them. So if you see the next patrol pack hitting around this area right now, stop, wait for them to go back, and then continue. As for these about here in the corridor, the satyrs, there's no need to fight them. You can just run past them and then you stun them and then you reset them in the pillar straight ahead. They drop some good loot, so it's up to you. Demonic runes and whatnot, Felcloth. You take about 30 to 40 seconds to kill. But as you can see, what I'm doing right now, you can just evade him by stunning him there and going to this reset spot. Sometimes there's another satyr in the corner that's stealthed. In case he's there, you can pull him, go a bit further back and use a grenade if you have two on you, and come back to the reset spot. So from here, we're gonna skip the next boss, Hydra spawn. There's a spot where if he's running to the right side of the room, you can stay exactly on this corner here, and literally no matter where he is, he's never gonna aggro, and neither will the mobs on the right side of you. Now up ahead, you're gonna probably have another satyr. I didn't have, for some reason he was here. Maybe I was late when I started recording this video, but you probably have a satyr in the corridor that you have to kill, and it's again 30 to 40 seconds. It doesn't really delay that much. It's less if you're ret or prot for the matter. Okay, so once you're fighting Zevrim, what you want to be doing is melee weaving, which basically means that you will hit him and then hide, and he's gonna run back and then forth. And then you're gonna show yourself when your swing time is ready to hit again, and then you hit him once more. So what this means is that even if the boss's attack speed is quick, which it is, he's only gonna hit you once when you hit him, and he can cast any spells on you. That's basically why you're able to kill him so quickly. Now, you can see that I'm gonna start with Seal of Crusader, and I'm gonna judge it to apply the debuff, then I use my spell damage trinket, if you have, and then Seal of Consecration, Seal of Righteousness or Command if you're red, and then you just Exorcism and Holy Shock. If you're Holy, Divine Favor, Holy Shock. If you're prod, maybe Sit Macro and Holy Shield, and if you're red, you just auto attack and you do a lot of damage with Seal of Command. Now you can see that this is the reason why I'm able to kill him so fast and therefore lower this runs 13 minutes. The same thing is gonna happen with the last boss. Is I try to keep up my Seal of Crusader debuff as much as I can. So you can see that I almost never let it fall down because my melee auto attacks are resetting. And because of the leeway mechanic, you can see that I move to the right just before he hits me or he's in range, and I can still hit him while being out of line of sight for his spells. Now the best way to do this is that you want to stay exactly behind. I'm gonna pause right about now after I heal. There we go. So you want to stay exactly between his path, which is around there. He goes back and forth this direction, and you want to stay behind the leftmost side of this pillar. So if you stay on further on the right of here, what's gonna happen is sometimes you will bug through the pillar and still cast Sacrifice on you, which is actually going to happen this pull later on, and you'll see, but you can bubble out of the first one. But if you stay where I am right now, he's just gonna walk towards you, and when he starts casting, you can move to the right, and that means that he won't have line of sight and you won't get any of his spells. And then basically, all you're gonna be doing in this fight is trying to keep your Seal of Crusader debuff or judgment up so that your holy spells do more damage. If you're red, don't forget to use Sanctity Aura for the 10% spell damage increase in holy spells, and keep keep Seal of Righteousness up so that you can do some damage. If you're holy or prot, it's probably best to equip it to any two-hander that you have from raids. I mean, at this point you probably have a lot already. Red can just destroy him with Seal of Command and any two-hander as well. But as you can see, I just Exorcism on cooldown, I Holy Shock on cooldown. If my Seal of Righteousness is about to drop, I use Judgment on it. And I try to keep Seal of Crusader always up, or Judgment of Crusader always up, but sometimes it falls down, and my priority is, number one priority is to put it back up, because it increases Judgment damage by quite a lot. Now, as you saw there, he almost sacrificed me the first time, and then it does the second time. This is because I kind of screwed up with being behind... Sorry, this is because I kind of screw up with being behind the correct place in the pillar, and at that point, unless you're kind of lucky in resetting him where further to the right, you're probably gonna get a sacrifice and you need to divine shield out of it. It takes maybe 3 tries to practice this, and then once you got the hang of it, you'll see that it's so easy. You just put yourself behind the left side of the pillar, like I said, the big bulky cube, and every time he comes, you do 1 swing, and then you run diagonally to the right, and you hide, and he resets all the way back. Once he is below 20%, fight's even easier, because then you can use Hammer of Wrath and Exorcism, and he just falls over. Now, one thing I did use, and I advise you use the same, is Greater Mana Pots. So they're really cheap. They cost about 10 silver on my realm, and I use, I think, 3 in this run. So that's just 30 silver per run. It's really nothing, and there is no need to use any other pots. I found that, and my gear isn't amazing, as you guys know. I don't even have like full judgment yet. I only have like what 60 spell power in this run, and I'm still able to do it, and the Greater Mana Pots are enough. So once you kill him, you're gonna jump back to where you came from, where the satyrs were. Be careful if there was a stealth patrolling satyr to not pull that one. And now if you do have this, you see there is, and I'm gonna run back a little bit. Now, if you do have the satyr that's on that corner, and the other one was patrolling further on, and you don't want to waste so much time waiting for them, what you can do is you can pull them, just as you pull these ones, and then you can reset them in the next pillar, in the next area. I don't think I needed to do that in here, but I'm gonna pause right about now, and it's this exact pillar here. It's another reset spot. You just have to be careful. Sometimes these patrolling trees will still aggro even if you're there. Now, another important thing that a lot of paladins and people just in general doing jump runs fail is this path back. Once you talk to this tree, to Ironbark, he's gonna open that door. A lot of people will follow this crosswalk, pathway, whatever, to the door, and they're gonna try and dodge the trees again. Don't do that. And the reason is because even if you come all the way through the same path I told you before, or I showed you before, and that I'm doing now, you can still get to the door just as he's about to open it, so you're not losing any time whatsoever. The only reason to go through the middle is if you want to maybe pick an herb on the way, but it's unlikely since you're doing these jump runs for mining, and you know, style points, I guess. But there's no reason to do it really. You can see that you just run straight through the exact same path you ran before. You wait for those trees to get a little bit out of the way, and then as you can see, I'm gonna be like 2 seconds away from the door opening, and at least this way you're really never ever risking dying in this place, which would really suck because every time you have to run you take a goddamn long time. So now the last boss, you can already imagine where I'm going with this video, right? So the last boss, you're going to do exactly the same as you were doing on Zevrim. You're going to be melee weaving him and casting Exorcism as much as you can, and you can cast Holy Shocks as well. Now on this boss, I'm a little bit more conservative with my mana, because this fight is a little bit longer, and also you have to dispel and heal sometimes. But yeah, so you jump on top of this pillar and then behind it, so the boss doesn't see you, and you heal up. Then you want to drink because you want to start at full mana, and you're going to exactly do what you did before. You Seal of Crusader, Judgment, Exorcism, Trinket, etc. The biggest difference in this fight is that you don't want to be trying to keep up your Crusader as much. The reason is because if he casts Wither on you, he does 800 damage up front, which basically burns your mana, which you need. And also, if he's in his wolf form, he can cast a debuff like he just did, which does a slow, and it's pretty annoying because you cannot use Blessing of Freedom to remove it, only your Bobs and Divine Shield. When he's in a humanoid form, you want to do what I'm doing now. He goes all the way to the end, you jump back up, and you go like that, exactly so that he's out of line of sight or out of range to cast those buffs. That means you won't have to heal up the 800 damage that Wither does up front. There's no way to dodge that, even if you dispel it as soon as it goes. And that's probably the best way to do it. Now, you're going to just be doing this for like 4 minutes until they die, or sorry, until he gets to 50% HP, and by that point the imps spawn, and then you're gonna go all the way to the other side of the room, reset everything, and then kill the imps and go in. One thing I do want to say is spam your greater mana pots, because then I should have done it more as well. The more greater mana pots you spam, they're really cheap, the quicker you can get this done. Do be careful that you want to finish the fight, meaning getting him to 50%, with at least 1.2k mana. That's because when you go to the other side and kill the imps, you will need that mana for a Holy Wrath, a Consecrate, and your Divine Shield. Other than that, that's it to this fight. So I'm just gonna, I guess, take a few minutes to, well, firstly thank Linnea from the Discord. He's the one, I knew that this could be done, but since I'm not a miner, I never found a way or tried to search for a way to do this, and I just asked if, you know, can anyone do this that quickly? Is this even possible? Should I bother? And this guy said, yeah, it can, and he showed me how. I was like, oh yeah, this is actually pretty easy. I'm gonna do a video like this, and I'm not even red. So I suppose, like, as a red paladin, and I know that there's a lot of people doing PvP as paladins that are red, and all of those people are probably miner and engineering, because engineering is just the best thing you can do for PvP. And for those, this is probably the best farm. You probably don't have consecration to do any of my other farms, and they're such a time sink. And this one, it's just really good as red. You'll kill everything as fast as, or not as fast. You'll kill everything faster than I can kill, because I am holy spec, deep holy with divine favor, and I'm just using a random weapon from Molten Core. So as a red, you probably have better weapons, and you have also all of those talents that will help you do a lot more damage. You know, you crit, you get more damage, etc. And you get Sanctity Aura as well. So I'm pretty sure as a red, you can probably do this, I would say 12 minutes, potentially even less if you get good at the melee weaving in both this fight and the previous fight. You can potentially do this in 11 minutes, I suspect. Other than that, I'm currently working, trying to at least, and you can hop by the stream and see me frustrate. Trying to do Marathon, but it's still a long way to go. Alright, so the imps spawn 50% health, and you want them to come all the way to you. I should have waited longer. Wait longer. That was a mistake, and you'll see why. Because when you come to this side, you want the imps and the plants to be on the other side so that they can cleanly reset. I didn't do that. So the consequence is I'm gonna have to wait like 30 seconds, because I'm constantly waiting for the imps to reset further and further and further, so the plants go further and further away until they don't have aggro on me anymore. That's because if you aggro the plants and they stay and they come all the way where you are in this area, they won't despawn, and you'll have to run all the way back to the other side, you know, do the same thing, reset them there, come back here. It's pretty annoying and takes like a minute, so wait longer on the other side where I didn't, and you can do this a little bit cleaner. As for killing them, it's pretty simple. You're going to jump down, Consecrate, and Divine Shield, and then Holy Wrath. That's it, they'll die. This is enough to kill them. I also use my Trinket, but I don't think you need that. And they just die. You jump back up. As you can see, I'm gonna pause this right here. That plant almost came in line of sight of me. If it did, it wouldn't reset, and it would just stay there, and I would have to go to the other side. So I was pretty lucky there, but I should have waited longer before, and I wouldn't have had this problem at all. Now, once they reset and you leave combat, you can go ahead, turn right, go into this hallway or this tunnel and get all of your crystals. And, you know, that's it. It's very simple, 13-minute run as a Holy Paladin with a two-handed. I think reds will do it a lot quicker. Potentially, I think prods can also do it maybe quicker. You can use that sit macro to sit and get like reckoning stacks, for example, or even just to proc holy shield and stuff like that. Well, I hope you enjoy this one, and I'll see you on the next time.